Welcome to Medium on a Mission. I'm Lynn Nicholls. I'm a psychic medium and intuition expert, and I'm on a mission to show you that your intuition is your superpower. So this is our last show before the end of the year. So thank you so much for joining us. When you see this, please say hi, give us a wave, let me know where you're from. You can watch this show on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. It can be viewed on all smart TVs newer than 2016, Amazon Fire, Roku, and on zingotv.com. And you can also join in on the Spanglish World Network, the H.E.R Network, across all social platforms, and of course, where you're probably watching now on my Facebook page, Lynn Nicholls Intuition Expert. Hello, export. Where am I going? Expert. So it's water. It's water. Honestly, it's just my vocabulary is out. Hey, everybody. So let's see where we're coming from. Nice to see you all. I can see where you're watching from, so we'll have a lot of Facebook. So folks, if you wouldn't mind shooting your friends a text or tagging them in the comments and have them join us for the last show of the year, that would be absolutely fantastic. Hi, everybody. So nice to see you. Get ready to get your texting fingers ready, because we will do speed reading in the last 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll give you your pre-Christmas messages, and not all of you will get messages, but we will do the best we can. So today we are doing Get Into It. We are doing Meet the Medium, not me, and speed reading. Like I said, hello Niagara, hello St. Catharines. I hope everybody's doing well, and I hope you're not too stressed. I know it's kind of a busy time of year, so deep breaths. It doesn't feel much like Christmas to me, but I don't know. Do you feel the same way? Does it? Because I know here in Niagara, it's been pretty sunny. It's been a little cold. We've had some warm days, but it's been pretty sunny, and there's no snow, and it doesn't feel terribly Christmassy. So how are you feeling? Are you feeling Christmassy? Do you have the Christmas spirit? Mind the pun. But I hope eventually, as the time grows closer, you do. Yeah. So we have some no, it doesn't feel like Christmas. So blah's Heather, blah is a good way to describe pretty much all of 2021. Oh, maybe 2022. Yeah, I know, Tina. No Christmas spirit. So we will do our best to enliven you a little bit in the next hour, and we get to meet a really cool medium, and we'll liven you up during the speed reading. So before we get into it, Christmas is just I don't even know what today is. It's 3 days away, and I hope you enjoy your holidays with your spirit friends. And that's what I'd like to talk to you about: your spirit friends, your spirit family members, and how we go about the holidays with those who have crossed over, with those in spirit. So some people will have a very joyous holiday. For some, it's the first Christmas without their loved ones. So it's how do you cope with grief through the holidays? And I am not an expert in grief at all. I'm an expert on the spirits, what they would like you to know during the holidays, and we'll get to that. So anything about grief, if you're feeling grief stricken, reach out to a friend, reach out to someone who gets it, reach out to a therapist, reach out to a counselor. There's also lots of great advice online. I mean, lots. So pick what's good for you. And you're all adults. I don't need to tell you this, but I do feel, once you're a mom, you feel you need to take care of the whole world. So please take care of yourself first. What I can tell you about those who have passed, whether they've been gone for 25 years or 5 days, they will be joining you for Christmas this year. They will be joining you for New Year's Eve. They will be joining you for breakfast. They are with you. So How do you know they're with you? We'll get into that a little later during Meet the Medium, but I'm sure you know. So, do you have any traditions that you do that you have for those who have passed on? Is there anything you do special at Christmas to acknowledge them? If you do, let me know in the comments. Um, and we'll see. Maybe you can give somebody an idea, and that might be just what they need to hear to get through the holidays, because what spirit wants for you is to be happy and to enjoy your life, because they're with you and they acknowledge your sadness, they acknowledge your grief, but they want you to be happy. So please keep that in mind. I know it sounds counterintuitive. um, Thank you for tagging your friends. Like I said, thank you, Jean. That was very nice of you. And text your friends, bring them into the show. So some things you can do that I've seen people do also at weddings is they set you put an empty place setting with an empty chair. And it's not to do that in sadness, but what you can do is how I teach people how to do mediumship is just use your imagination. Just imagine them sitting there and smiling and eating and drinking and enjoying the conversation, because they are. So that is not meant as a sad thing, but it is just for you to imagine them there. And chances are what you're imagining is what's actually happening. And imagine them at whatever age feels right. They're usually not. I mean, if I pass at 82, I'm not staying 82. Technically, age does not exist on the other side because you're just energy. However, when they appear to us, well, when they appear to me, they appear in human form and they choose their most favorite time. So I would be in my 20s. So let's see what Haley says. We have a recording of my Papa reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." So my sister and I listen to that every Christmas Eve, and he's been gone since 2014. That's a great idea. That I Haley, that's a beautiful idea. Ornaments with their name on your tree, Lori, great idea. Go outside, look up to the stars and wish them a Merry Christmas. That's beautiful. That's the simplest thing you can do, is just when you wake up that morning, say Merry Christmas, Mom, or Merry Christmas, Dad, or Merry Christmas, everybody on the other side, if you have too many. Yeah, so my dad's birthday was Christmas Eve, and we always do a birthday toast with a shot of scotch. You can't get better than that. There you go. I'm assuming scotch was his favorite thing to do. Um, let's see. It was a book bought with. Oh, okay. So there, Haley's just explaining the situation there with having her grandpa's recording. So those are all fantastic ideas. Put a photo up of them. Make sure if you need the reminder to say Merry Christmas, light a candle, and as you light the candle, just honor them and just say, with this candle I honor you, Merry Christmas, Mom, or whoever. Some people I find like to visit the cemetery, like to visit their loved one's grave on Christmas or Easter or their birthday or whatever. Do they live there? Do the spirits live there? No. Would you? Would you live in a cemetery? No. Would you live in a hospital? No. They don't stay there. So they will meet you at the cemetery. So if you want to go say Merry Christmas, if you want to put a wreath, if you want to put a poinsettia, whatever you want to do, if that makes you feel good, do it. And they'll meet you there, because if you feel good, that's what they want for you. If you're doing it out of obligation and it feels frustrating and you almost, and I'm not saying anybody feels this way, if you just resent having to go there and drag yourself there every Christmas, don't do it, because they don't want you to feel bad about their passing. They're home, they're having a heck of a time. Are they celebrating Christmas over there? Sure they are. Sure they are. They'll celebrate any party anything that brings joy and happiness. So please enjoy Christmas with your loved ones on this side and the other side. One of the things I always do is we grew up with a Christmas tree that was always decorated with red balls, red Christmas balls. And so after my mom passed in 2015, there's 4 children in my family, and we each have a red ball that we use for our tree. I also, if you see this little Santa back here, it's much older than me, so, and we're not going to get into that, but it's a plastic, well, it's just a cheap old plastic thing, but my mom brought it out every Christmas. So now I just bring it out every Christmas and I say, "Thanks, Mom." And as far as I know, there's only always been 2 reindeer. Maybe there was several more at one time, but not that I remember. So that's the way it is. And the other one thing I did this Christmas is many of you know that we had to put my little dog down on December 16th, and he's been with me since 2009. We got him as a rescue. So what I did for him, not that he was a big fan of Christmas, he was kind of a grumpy old fart near the end. But what I did is I got one of these balls from the dollar store, just clear one. It's one of the photo ones that just, you could see the seam goes right in half. And that is the material from his bed. So I cut it. He's not going to use it anymore. And honestly, we just threw it away because you know how old dogs get, and they don't smell very good. So the bed sat there being very stinky. And as much as I still love that stinky smell because it's him. So I bet if I open this, I could smell him. Then the memories come back. But this is my Frankie ornament because that's the material from his bed. So this will go on my tree from now to eternity. And I'm sure he's bopping around here somewhere, and he's not 1,000 years old anymore. This is the dog we thought would outlive us all. So those are some of the ideas I have. I do not have all the answers. I do not have all the best ideas. I have, some of you have given some great ideas. Now, Patty says, I hate going to the cemetery. I have always had trouble going there. I don't blame you. I feel bad though when I have trouble going there. I stay the shortest period of time that I can. I really struggle with this. Yeah, I get it. I get it. My mom's been dead since 2005. Since then, honestly, I've visited her, what do you call it? At the mausoleum. I visited her at the mausoleum only 3 times because my dad asked me to go with him, and it just makes me sad. So why go? She doesn't want to see me sad, but I get you, Patty. I get you. And you could always message me, and I'm happy to help you with that. If it makes you feel good, do it. If not, don't do it. But I would really like to continue on the conversation of getting in touch with your loved ones during our segment of Meet the Medium. So I am more than thrilled to welcome Lauren Rainbow to the show, who is just an amazing medium with a delightful personality. And there she is.
Hello. Lynn. How are you?
Oh. Very, very good. Very good. Now, how's the weather where you are? Does it feel Christmassy?
It does. We definitely have snow here on the ground. We've had a little bit of rain today, but it's starting to feel like Christmas.
Oh, good. Good. That's what we need. So, folks, this is Lauren Rainbow. And I think just give her a big wave in the comments. Just give her a big hello. And I think, Lauren, before we start anything about mediumship, I think the $1 million question is, and you've heard it a million times, is that your real name?
Yes. I know, it's a lovely question. And Lynn, it's a family name. My grandmother, my father's mother, her last name was Rainbow. So I did steal it, but it's in the family. And it's interesting because that side of the family has a lot of mediumship in it. So it just felt like kind of a divine way of celebrating. We're talking about, listening to you, by the way, celebrating your family, how to celebrate them during the holidays. You know, my dad passed, and my mom used to always say to me, remember that you're from a family of rainbows. So it just felt right to adopt it one day.
That really does. Now my last name is Nicholls, which I did in honor of my mother's maiden name. And that's just like change. That's coins. But I do like Nicholls is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think it's a matter of, remembering parts of your family, right? It just
Yeah.
seemed like the right thing to do. And I feel like I've been Lauren Rainbow now for almost 20 years. So it's who I am.
It's who you are, and it's who you are. And honestly, and we've never met in person, but folks, if you go to her Instagram, her website, wherever, her Facebook, you will see that Lauren does exude the qualities of a
Oh.
rainbow. Like, you really just, like, she's delightful, and you know how you feel happy when you look at a rainbow? That's how you feel when you go to your Instagram page.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank
You're
you.
so welcome. So tell people, I know it's kind of a abrupt question. What do you do?
What do I do?
What are your skills in the
Yeah.
mediumship and the intuitive world?
That's a beautiful question. And to keep it simple, because I know we can get, there's a lot of different things
Oh,
that we can do, isn't there?
yeah.
I'm definitely well versed in so many aspects of spirituality, from healing work to mediumship. But the primary work I do is communicating with loved ones in spirit. I do intuitive connections as well. And as of the last 5 years, I've been taking people to countries around the world to connect with sacred sites in Peru, Egypt, Mexico. So those are like the top few things I do.
Wow. Wow.
And
Oh,
I teach all of it as well. Like you were saying, Lynn, teaching mediumship. I teach mediumship and all aspects of spirituality that people are looking to just learn more about it themselves as well.
so how did you learn that you had this ability?
Yeah. Again, a short version of the story,
That's okay. We have
right?
time.
Because he's going forever. But a short
Yeah.
version is, I think, what a lot of us, and I think Lynn, you'll probably feel the same way, is we knew at some point as a child that there was something different going on. I definitely had a lot of intuitive interests and psychic interests as a child in the 80s. But the real switch flipped when I ended up reliving in a retired funeral home in 2000, just before 9/11 happened. And as you were talking, like with the cemetery and everything, too, to everybody, it's interesting because the house had a lot of energy, and it definitely sparked something in me.
Oh,
I wouldn't say it was haunted, because people don't die in a funeral home. So
right.
there's that misconception, but it definitely had energy. It definitely created an opening gateway, if you will. And then I was laid off from my corporate work, which I was doing quite well at, on 9/10 of 2001.
Oh,
And I had started spiritually seeking at that point. So I kind of was literally found myself at a metaphysical shop on the day after 9/11. And I was just kind of embraced into this community of healers, where they taught me first how to do energy work and healing. Then in that, was already aware of spirit. So I just started to work with it. I just kind of threw myself into it. And then lo and behold, now 20 years later, it's a whole thing.
it's a thing. That,
It's a
no,
whole
that's
thing.
amazing. That's wonderful. No, and you still do the healing work, and I hope that COVID buggers off and you could do your sacred travel again.
Yeah, we're actually doing our first journey to Egypt in January, and then Peru in April. So we're getting
Oh,
back
come
out
on.
there. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We're ready to go. We're working out how to do it as safely as possible. And we're getting back to these sacred sites. So I'm excited.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that is exciting. So if people were interested in that, where could they go to find out more information?
They can find it all at my website, laurenrainbow.com, simple and easy. And yeah, laurenrainbow.com. And, right now my Egypt journey is full, but we'll do it again in the fall. We're going to be doing India soon as well. And I'm excited. It's my last journey. Actually, I literally made it back in the country from doing my last journey to Egypt in March of 2020, right before the world shut down. So we snuck in and out at the beginning of COVID, got a journey underway, and it feels like the right place to begin again. So I'm excited.
It does. It really does. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. That's exciting. So if we bring it back to the Americas now and
Yeah.
back to our home, and sitting here with Christmas just around the corner and people missing their loved ones and wanting to get in touch with them, what are some things you suggest that are very simple things people can do to try and connect with their loved ones on the other side? Like,
So
are there
beautiful.
specific signs they should be looking for, or how should they ask for signs? What's your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And in reading some of the comments from those who were already commenting today, by the way, a lot of great ideas out there. Like I saw the one with the, the drink to the spirit. And, one thing I love to do at the holidays is if you're having a meal, if you're having, whether that be Thanksgiving or even at Christmas, if you're your holiday meal, I like to have a table setting for spirit. So perhaps you're having that plate where there's a seat for them and you're actually inviting them in to celebrate with you, to be there with you. It can be a nice little simple practice of inviting spirit in. One thing that we do at home with our loved ones in spirit is we actually have their pictures in the Christmas tree. My grandmother was a huge fan of the Christmas decorating, and everything that we still decorate with at my parents' house is hers. And my mother has little pictures of them that she puts right in the Christmas tree so that they're kind of sitting there enjoying as we're opening presents and such as that. I loved your idea about lighting a candle. I think that lighting a candle is one of the most beautiful things that you can do and set the intention of inviting spirit in when you do. So Lynn, that was gorgeous. And sometimes if you have perhaps like a mantle like you have behind you where you light that candle for spirit, again, having pictures of them around you. Or an item that's important to them. Their glasses. A friend of mine likes to put out the glasses of a grandmother nearby, or like, again, their favorite shot glass, or just something a little that just kind of creates that invitation that just as we're thinking of you, and here's that little something special. The other thing that we love to do is we make my father's recipes. We have his cookbook, and every year for Christmas, we pull out his cookbook and we pick a recipe that we want to make, from a meal of his that he would love during the Christmas season. So these are wonderful little ways, or their favorite cookie recipe. How many of you already do that, right? How many of you are already making your grandmother's cookies? And these are wonderful ways when you're making the recipes of even just breathing into them and just saying, hey, Graham, I'm excited to make your recipe, or hey, Dad, and know that they're there with you in that process. Maybe even inspiring, like you might have that sudden feeling of, why do I want to make my grandmother's favorite recipe this year? So that could be, their way of connecting with us and inspiring you even. How do we know though, Lynn, that they're with us?
Yes.
This is always the hardest part, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has different ways of sensing and feeling the spirit. And I think signs that can be little moments of them. Maybe you're getting that song on the radio. We've talked about that, I'm sure, their favorite song, their favorite music. Sometimes we get their scents, if they used to smoke a pipe. My grandfather, oh my God, used to get that sweet tobacco. So always around the holidays, sometimes we smell that tobacco from the pipe. Little things like that can be distinct to them. Their perfume, my grandmother's perfume. My God, I still smell that once in a while, when she's around. So little things that my dad's cigarettes, Patty, I see you posting that. So true. And I think that's so important to have those little moments of when you feel it, little nuances, whether it be a smell, a scent, a feeling, a song. But the one thing I say this is the most important thing I think is important to learn when you see a sign from spirit. Maybe it's the cardinal that some people like to see, or whatever favorite bird that you connect with or animal. Our heart will tell you right away when you see the sign, you go, oh, that's Graham, or that's Dad, or that's Mom, right? How many times have you saw a sign and you instantly just go, that's so-and-so? That is your heart validating the sign, right? You work with mediumship, so you know that as mediums, it's an instant feeling. We're not working hard to get it. It's instant feeling. Your soul will tell you who that is. It's when the ego steps in and goes, maybe that's a little, that's the part of us that tries to change the trajectory of the actual sign. So I always say, the sign is there because you're going to get the instant who it is from. You might even go, oh, I wonder if that's from Graham or something. That is your heart saying exactly who the sign is from. The hard part is learning to believe it, to trust it, and to be with that truth, right? And
Trusting it.
And I think spirit's magical. I can see here some of the comments about finding the dimes and the cardinals. All of them, my grandfather's Old Spice. Oh my God.
No.
I know, it's the only time I smell Old Spice these days, right? It's from spirit. Who else wears it anymore? But those are absolutely ways that they're bringing their love to you. It's sometimes so beautiful and so simple. We just have to trust it.
Yeah, and that is the hardest part, I find. And people developing their mediumship, or just most people just develop it just to connect with someone they've
Yes.
lost.
Yes.
And you have developed in partnership with John Holland the mediumship training deck.
Yes.
So do you have one handy? I think you might.
I was like, oh my God, I always have it on my desk because I'm always using it anyway. So you happen to have the Mediator training deck, which is fabulous, isn't it?
It is. So how do you go about using that deck?
So this deck we created, and I'm so blessed that John even invited me to create this deck with him. We really designed it. While it's called the Mediumship Training Deck, we designed it even if you're working psychically, intuitively to develop. It works with all different aspects. And unlike most oracle decks, each deck, like the first one I picked was Blending with Spirit, has beautiful images, but on the back some instructions about the different aspects of mediumship, how it works in development, a little bit about what is, blending with spirit means. It's a term that we use in spirit when we're really blending with the link of spirit. And then some exercises on how to develop. So we've got all kinds of things from like, energy scanning, which is also a great psychic tool. I'm just kind of pulling them right off the top.
That's
and
okay.
Divine source, so we really try to make a well-rounded deck with meditation techniques, mediumship techniques, intuitive techniques, to really help people have something at home that they can work with every so often to, pick a card and go, what do I want to develop today? What do I want to work with today? And as a teacher of mediumship, I'm sure you see this too, Lynn, is a lot of people, how we came up with it is after teaching a lot, both John and I, we realized a lot of people go home and go, how do I continue?
Exactly.
And so we wanted to create something that you can take home and just have the reminders of some of the tools that we use on how to continue. And one I just will share real quick, trance dance. I just picked this one.
Wow.
And this one is kind of fun. A lot of people are intuitive dance is another way I use it, which is a way of just letting music move through you. And this can be wonderful actually during the holidays, is if you just want to take a moment to dance with spirit, just put on your favorite music, just let the music take you, invite your loved ones to come in and dance with them. It can be that simple.
Oh, that's a great idea. Just dance with them. And whether it's a slow dance or you're dancing to like some funky Bruno Mars song, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, right? Just invite them in and just have a dance with them. Just like you would in your own space. Dance as though no one can see you,
You can, be naked or clothed. We don't care.
Spirit
Exactly.
probably doesn't care either.
No, not at all. Oh, that's a great deck. I think. Where is that available?
You can get this on Amazon. Either just Google the Mediumship Training Deck at Amazon under my name or John's name as well, John Holland, and at the Hay House. It's published through the Hay House published. So you get it at Hay House. I think I might have a link on my website. I probably do too on my website, but it's usually just easy if you go to Amazon and Google the Mediumship Training Deck. Such a fun one.
That is, what I like about it, because I have a little ADD, so I have trouble going through an entire book.
Yeah.
So I know I have a couple of John's little books where you just flip to a page, pick the activity, do that. But I like this idea even more, because it kind of leaves it up to, I don't want to say up to fate, but you could, like you said, what can I develop today? Boom. Okay, I'll work on that. So it kind of takes like some of the work out of you. Like you don't have to put the work into thinking, what do I want to do today? How am I going to do it? It's right there. And you just rely on your instincts, your intuition to pick the card and go with it.
Yeah. And the other beautiful thing, Lynn, as a teacher, one thing John talks about as a teacher is if you're having mediumship practice circles and you're needing an exercise of the night, the deck. I know some students or people who are trying to create space to learn from others. They can just pick a card out of the deck. Like I just all of a sudden grabbed clairvoyance, learning how to work with your clairvoyant vision. And again, the exercise on the back that you can work within a circle to help you develop that a little bit. And some of them have cards that go together. So like if you're working with clairvoyance, clairaudience, we break it all down and have some fun ones in there as well, just for fun to develop, like the trance dance, just something that's not always like sit and force the connection, but just being with the energy of spirit as well.
Right. I almost thought you said tramp stamp. So I'm glad.
Oh yeah, no, trance.
I was like, what? What kind of show is this? What are we doing?
Evidence from spirit, though. Do they have it?
You never know. You never
Right.
know. Those are great. Those are great. Lauren, thank you so much for joining me today. Is there anything else you want to share with people? Like, where can they find you online? What,
You
like,
can find me everywhere online right
yes.
now. Yeah, Instagram at Lauren Rainbow Medium, Facebook at Lauren Rainbow Medium, laurenrainbow.com. If you want to go to my website for some wonderful, exciting things going on, I'm going to be working with the wonderful Tony Stockwell,
Nice.
an amazing medium at the beginning of the year. We have a lovely workshop coming up, and maybe you'll join me on a journey. Come to England, come to Peru. Actually, Tony and I want to work on a journey to England soon. Put that out there. So join us on a journey.
Yes.
More
Yes,
than
that's
anything, though, I would love for people to have a wonderful holiday season. It's been a lot these last 2 years, I know.
yeah.
And even for some, we're choosing to be a little bit distant and safe from our family this year again. So
Mhm.
whether you're joining together or you're taking that distant time, you can still just send love wherever you feel guided to each other, love each other. Have an amazing holiday season and bring a bit more laughter and joy back. I think that we all just need that a little bit.
Thank you so much for those most beautiful closing words. Thank you for joining me, Lauren. Have a Merry Christmas and a
You
Happy New Year.
too. Lovely,
And
Lynn.
thank you. We will see you around the internet somewhere.
Absolutely. You
Keep
can see
doing your wonderful work.
me. Thank you so much. You as well. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. So thank you. Oh, thank you, Lauren, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed chatting with her. Please go check out her Instagram, her Facebook, the things she offers. They're pretty amazing. And if you just see how down to earth she is, and there's a lot of things she does that I don't do. So we just kind of overlap and fill in the gaps. And I encourage you to visit her page, check out her workshops, go to Egypt if you're comfortable doing that. I can barely leave my living room at the time, but when you have such a wonderful, knowledgeable guide to bring you places safely, then that's absolutely fantastic. Before we get onto speed reading, I just wanted to share a very quick story with you because Lauren reminded me. Cook traditional recipes, your grandma's cookies, your dad's spaghetti sauce, whatever. I never could recreate my dad's spaghetti sauce, come to think of it. However, I do have a quick story about my mom's sugar cookies because she always made the sugar cookies. She rolled them out, cut them into little shapes, put the icing sugar or the sprinkles or both on them. And they were always just the most delightful thing. So the year after she passed, well, actually, not the year, the Christmas after she passed, because she passed November 15th. So that Christmas, I was making her sugar cookies from her recipe, not by heart. And I'm making it. It's like it's going along fine. I'm doing what I need to do. And can you hear my dog? And I hear her say, in my mind, I'm not seeing her anywhere around me, but I can hear in my thoughts, Lynn, you're doing that wrong. I was like, and we sound very much alike. So I didn't know if it was her or me. I said, what? They feel fine. They look fine. The texture's fine. They're wrong. Okay. So let's just see how this turns out. So anyways, I go about it, cut them out, put them in the oven, bring them back out, decorate them. They're all fantastic. It's like, I didn't do these wrong. I must have just made that up. The first bite I took into these cookies, and when you bite something and immediately it's like, blah, it was like, blah, out they came. I must have doubled the shortening, or like it was just, all it tasted like was, sorry to sound like an 85-year-old, but lard. They tasted horrible. So I had this beautiful big batch of cookies that I did wrong. And just like from my childhood, I should have listened to my mother, right? Baking the cookies wrong. Darn it. So thank you for listening to my little story, my sugar cookie story. So I've made them right every year since. So folks, it's speed reading time. So what we'll do is, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And as you know, not everybody's going to get a message back or get a mini reading. So again, my apologies. but I'll do the best I can. And they do scroll by quickly. So please feel free to repeat your question. I'm not thinking, oh my God, this person's annoying, I'm not going to answer. So just feel free. Just get my stuff out of the way. So, so Heather starts off. So I could see what Heather says. Is my mom happier now? I pray she found my dad. Oh, I'm sorry you've lost your mom. I'm assuming, Heather, that's recent. So they will always find their people. They are always happier, because when you can let go of an aged body, a sick body, you're so much better. And I'm sure she's over there with your dad. Now, your mom shows me, I almost thought it was a Wizard of Oz reference, Heather, like red shoes. So either there's literally, when I see things, it's not symbolic. So it's literally red shoes, or it's a reference to the Wizard of Oz or someone named Dorothy. So just keep that in mind, Heather, because, and it's not, okay, I know everybody's going, Lynn, the Wizard of Oz is always on during Christmas time. That's not it. So take that off the table. So red shoes or somebody named Dorothy. So keep that in mind. And let's see. So that was a very good question. And let's see, Melanie asked, wondering if my dad made it and how he's doing. Oh, so Melanie, again, I'm assuming your dad has passed, and they all make it. I've had this question a few times this week, where people have said, when does somebody cross over? Is it immediate? Are they already crossing over before they die? Does it take weeks? Does it take months? It depends. Soon as they're gone, they've crossed over. Do they know what to do? Yeah. Do they know where to go? Yeah. They've got everybody and every dog they've ever owned meeting them there. So yes. Your dad is fine. Oh, Heather has responded. Her mother's middle name was Dorothy. That's why Dorothy came up. So it's just your mom, Heather, saying, I know, I'm here. So your dad made it. He's fine. They cross over beautifully. I have found some people with neurological issues, dementia, Alzheimer's, sometimes they start to cross over prior to their actual physical passing. And you may have witnessed this, where they're kind of reaching out to someone, or if they're verbal, they'll say, oh, I just saw my mom here. My mom came to visit, things like that. So that's them starting to start the process of crossing over. I'm sorry that Rosie's going to start barking soon. I shut the door when I probably should have let it open. Anyways, so let's see here. Let's see how this scrolls. And Laura Stewart asks, does my dad have anything he'd like to share with me? Okay. So that's funny. When I think of your dad, I get itchy. So Laura Stewart, does your dad have itchy skin? That's, or is there someone close to you with eczema, psoriasis, allergic reactions, those kinds of things? So let me know in the comments, Laura. And your dad, they always want to. Here's where I have a bit of a caveat when it comes to visiting medium. If they say, oh, your mother loves you, oh, your father loves you, you damn right he loves me. Of course he loves me. Anybody can make this up. So I'm not saying to grill the medium or to question them or roll your eyes, but there has to be something more specific and meaningful than I love you. No, they can't even say they miss you. Actually, they won't. You'll miss them. They can't miss you because they're around all the time. So that's a big one. If they say your mother misses you, no, they don't know what they're talking about. Out the door. So you want something specific and meaningful. So let me just see. So I'm just trying to get back to that. Oh, Laura, you have itchy skin. That's you. Okay, so it's just dad's hanging around you. You're the one with the itchy skin. He's trying to fix it for you. So here she goes. She's gonna have a little fit now. So dad's just saying he's around. He's there if you need him. He will help you. Usually all the time, when people pass, they're still dad, they're still mom, they're still Uncle Joe. They're not divine angelic beings with amazing words of wisdom. they're going to say, stop eating so many French fries or something like that. So keep that in the back of your mind and don't expect anything that's like, oh, he's giving you all of these divine words of wisdom and lottery numbers. They don't know lottery numbers. And if I knew them, I wouldn't share. Sorry. I'm not being a jerk. I'm trying not to be a jerk. Okay, so we have, so Alana is asking, I'm at a crossroads in my marriage. Help me. Oh, I'm sorry, Alana. Yeah, this is not easy. And you know what? So I don't want to spout anything out there because that's one of these things where I have to be careful. I don't want to plant any seeds. Obviously, because you're asking the question, there are some issues. But what I can tell you, you got to trust your intuition. I know. It's like, Lynn, you say that all the time. See what happens, Alana. See what happens in March or May, but I think it's March. You will have a clearer picture of what to do at that time. So if you could just hold on to then you could answer your own question. So I hope that helps. That was kind of not helping, but helping, if that makes any sense. Let me see. So Kelly, you've asked about grandson issues. He doesn't feel much like a huge issue, so I'm not sure what you mean. He makes me dizzy, so I don't know if there's something going on in his head that's a little contrary, but that's what I would keep an eye out for. And let me see what's going on. So give me an idea if you want to be more specific, Kelly. I can try and help you. I don't have a problem with that. You're welcome, Alana. Do the best you can. Okay, so Missy is asking, can my late husband give me some advice? Oh, so here we go back to, he won't have any huge words of wisdom because he's still your husband. I'm just writing your names down as I'm answering them so that I know who I'm talking to, because I'm 54 and I'll forget. So Missy, I don't know what he's referring to, but he seems to keep talking about a Chris or a variation of that name. Chris, Christine, Kristen. So do you know who that is? So keep that in mind. Answer that for me if you wouldn't mind, Missy. That would be great. Oh, so Kelly's saying her grandson is nonverbal. So what is this dizzying, this head thing? I'm getting this spinning thing. Is he getting dizzy? Is he having inner ear things? Oh no. And there's something on his chin. So Missy, in response to my who is Chris, says his brother is Chris. So Missy, he's not visiting me right now. He's hanging out with Chris. So he's not going to offer up any advice other than I'll get to you later. I'm with Chris. So he's with his brother. So either Chris is, maybe he's having a bad day, maybe he's having a really great day, or maybe your hubby just wants to hang out with them. Missy was the very common name here. Like I'm getting a lot of Mikes and Johns, very common names. So keep that in mind. So Kelly, he's always jumping. Yeah, there's something feels off in his mind. It makes me dizzy. Hi, Laura. So keep that in mind. So it's just one of those things. I follow the guidance of the professionals, the experts that specialize in whatever your grandson is dealing with. Trust them, but trust your gut as well. And always get second, third, fourth opinions if something doesn't feel right, but do trust them. Okay. So Jerry Lynn is asking, new grandchild in March. Cool. Good for you. That's awesome. Boy or girl? Oh, I don't know. You could flip a coin and get a better answer than I could give you. So what I always check is baby healthy and is mama healthy? And is daddy not losing his marbles? But, or the partner. Sorry, I shouldn't be so specific. But things look good. Baby's a normal weight, so not underweight and not gigantic. So I'm thinking about 7, 8, 7, 9 pounds. I am getting a boy vibe, but and Jerry, like, shoot me a DM on Instagram or send me a text, or it's somewhere on my Facebook page, my cell number. and let me know. I am getting boy, so I guarantee it's a girl. I don't guarantee it's a girl, but I'm always wrong. So let me know. Let me know how that goes. Oh, I just realized. Did you see my earrings? So I've got Christmas earrings. I should have put my hair back so you could see the earrings. But that's the only Christmas thing I own, except I don't have anything red or green because I look terrible in red or green. And if I was flexible enough, I would show you my pants, but I would just show you. I can't show you, but I've got Christmas pants on. So that's all I got for you. So that, yeah, that's all I got. And they're too big and they will be off as soon as the show is off. Because you know me, it's just jeans and t-shirt, and you're lucky if you show up for a reading and I actually am dressed. Well, I'm not naked. I charge more for that. I'm usually in just leggings and a big sweatshirt. So this is dressed up for me. Okay, let's see. I don't know why I went off on a tangent. See, this is why I do this, because you guys get me really amped up. Like, I won't sleep for like hours now. It feels like I've had a good solid dose of caffeine. So thank you for your energy, your comments. Let's see what we got here. So I'm just going to scroll through. And so Jane Elizabeth, wondering about any new love relationships for me. Oh, Jane, you know what? I'm not saying no. I am not saying no. But wow, has this pandemic ever put a damper on people's relationships? It's just, I can't imagine having to date during this. So it's just a you know what show. But having said that, Jane, as long as you remain open to social opportunities in July, end of June through July, you will find you will meet some. Now, I don't know if he's really, really blonde or he's not old. You look fairly young from your photograph. I can't see because my eyes are fairly old. His hair is white, and it's a beautiful color white. So I don't know. I just love the color of his hair, the lightness of his hair. But he doesn't look old. So he's about 3 years older than you, but that's not bad. So keep that in mind. Let's see. I don't know which way the comments go, so I'm just going to scroll around. So Marcy is asking, will John and I get back together? When? I don't know if I would advise that. Not that you need my advice or my opinion. That actually doesn't matter. But as soon as I read that, my stomach got very sore, and I don't know why. And we know these Christmas leggings are not tight. So, so because my stomach gets sore, that gives me a little bit of worry. So that means that I'm getting anxiety over it. I'm not getting anxiety, but he makes me anxious. So he keeps me on the edge of my seat with regards to what I say it, how I act. So just be cognizant of that. I'm not saying don't get back together, but when you are with him, just see how you feel and trust, like literally trust your gut, because mine's going wonky when I think of him. So that's the issue I have. I would say you'll know by the end of January whether or not you're getting back together or not. That is my answer, darling. So let's see where we're going here. And Shanti is asking, do you see me having a baby in a few years? A baby? I don't see why not. Anytime anyone asks about pregnancy, I ask, are there any issues this person will have getting pregnant? Shanti, when I see that, I say no. And then I go to the other end of the spectrum and I say, is she going to have 10 kids, or are there any unwanted pregnancy? That's surprise pregnancies. I shouldn't have phrased it like that. That's also no. But I'd say about 2 years, 9 months from now looks very favorable for conceiving. So whether or not you are planning it at that time, I just want to give you a heads up. So go with that. Go with that. Let me see. Where are we here? Any more kids? Who just asked any more kids? Somebody just said that, and I wanted to say no, and I can't. Oh, will I have Jessica? I don't think so, Jessica. I don't think there's any more kids. But again, it's up to you. Does my cousin, so Bobby Lynn is asking, does my cousin Ashley Simpson have a message? Oh, so by the fact that her name is Ashley, I would assume that she's not that old. So that's kind of sad. You're welcome, Shanti. So Ashley. Okay. When I think about Ashley, so Bobby, I'm just gonna write your name down so I don't forget. So Bobby, when I think about Ashley, I get a gurgly throat. I don't know why. So I don't know if that's you or was that her. So keep that in mind. I'm getting a very tight feeling around the throat. Like not coughing, but gurgling. So keep that in mind. There is a reference. I know it's going to sound weird, Bobby. There's a reference to Superman. So either you've just watched Superman, or there's somebody who's obsessed with Superman, or somebody's name is Clark or Kent or Lois. So just let me know if that makes any sense for you, for a message from Ashley. Oh, okay. So Susan, a lot of mediumship questions today. So that's Lauren Rainbow brought in the mediumship energy, and here we are. So so Susan is asking, hold on, I'm just writing down what I said to Bobby so I don't forget when she comes back on. And Susan is asking, my son Miles passed at 13. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry. Does he have a message for you? So the message from Miles is, I know it's going to sound, I don't mean this in a destructive way or a harmful way, but I see a fire. So do we know why, Susan, that Miles would show me fire? So maybe, did you just have a fire? Is somebody's last name Blaze? Or is there anything about fire or a firefighter that makes sense for you, Susan? So let me know that. And let's see. So Bobby says she was just found after missing for 5 years. Whoa. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So what's the Superman reference? That's really interesting. Okay, so Susan, keep the fire thing in mind. I know it doesn't make sense now, but see what happens in the next, I'd say 72 hours, the next 3 days. See what happens. And that's his way of saying, I'm right there, the fire. Keep that in mind and let me know. Like, shoot me a text or shoot me a message on Instagram. That feature isn't enabled on Facebook, but I will do my best to look for your message. So, and Tammy asks, will there be a new puppy coming for my family? Well, I'm just going to say yes, because why not? Because why not? Puppies are a lot of work. I know. Nobody go out and buy puppies for Christmas, because that's just, or animals for Christmas is just a terrible idea. Not for everybody, but for the most people. But I think, Tammy, there is a new puppy. It looks patchy. So brown and white or black and white patchy. So keep that in mind. And let's see. So Carol is asking, will I find love in the new year? Again, pandemic, right? Puts a big damper on this romance department. But Carol, okay, Carol, look for a H.E.R name, or there's also an S coming up. There's a big S coming up. So keep that in mind. And you can go from there, see how it is. So we've got a few more minutes to go. And let's see. So Julie, new job soon. Second week in January. Keep an eye out for that. New job, Julie. New romance, little harder than that. So, oh, interesting. As soon as I said that, new job first leads to new romance. The partner you meet is connected to the new job. You do not work with this person, but they are connected to that place of employment. So keep that in mind. It could just be because it reroutes your day, and you end up meeting him at the Timmy's or the Dunkin' Donuts or wherever you live, like the coffee shop near your new work. So keep that in mind. When I do think of your new work, I do see a building about 6-7 feet high. 6-7 feet high, stories high. If it was only 6-7 feet high, there would be a problem. 6, 7 stories high, like a very square building with lots of little businesses inside there. So keep that in mind. So I'm wondering if he's in there somewhere. You just happen to pass him in the elevator. So folks, thank you so much. I know the questions are still running in. Please catch me in the new year on Medium on a Mission. We have to close out this show. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to Lauren Rainbow. Please check her out. I wish you all the best over the holiday season. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Honor your loved ones in spirit. If you need a little help, shoot me a DM. Thank you. And please remember that you are never alone.